family, Ken Mills here with World Views. Now, for this episode here, we're going to have a great time. Now, this gentleman to my left, this gentleman I've known for a very long time, one of the burgeoning artists in the Houston rap scene, come from royalty within rap. Y'all give it up for Raw Rap Sci.
Real.
Okay, so Nene, Mark Collins, all them your people.
Yeah, man. Mom and cousin, that's what we just named.
Real. So that's great pedigree, them good people.
Yeah.
Now, what made you come to the point of you wanting to be a rapper?
Look, to be honest, this how I started. Crazy story. Growing up in Coke Apartments, I went to Macc-Henderson, right?
Right.
I'm in Macc-Henderson cutting up though.
Yeah.
I'm in there acting a fool. I'm talking about probably one of the brightest ones in there, but I don't care though. But I'm like acting a fool. So mama on some stuff like, you wanna be like that, you wanna cut up like, we're gonna take you from over there where all your friends at, and I'm gonna put you over here at Bruce, where you don't know nobody at. How about we do that? Put me in Bruce in like the 3rd grade, man. I started learning how to read music, write music, play instruments. And from that point on, it was like, once you integrated in them so young like that, it's like, it's just like a form of, like how you train a soldier to be militant, you know what I'm saying? How you train a soldier to be active and aware. That's what they did to me. And no matter what y'all was doing, like what I was learning at that point in time right there was transforming me into something I wasn't even much aware of though. It was just transforming me to that soldier, like a music soldier, real talk. T. Jones took me out of where I was acting a fool at, put me in a whole nother elementary on the other side of the hood. Where you from Coke Apartments? And I got to fight every day with a saxophone in my hand. You know what I'm saying?
We kill the coke.
Yeah, man.
In the bottoms and all that.
Yeah, man. Yes, okay. Yes.
So,
real.
All right. So with that was already in your soul when you got to that point. Do you remember any like other crews that came from that area when you were coming up?
Oh yeah, for sure. On my side of the hood?
Yeah.
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie. Growing up where I was from, we ain't have to listen to no other rappers outside of the rappers that rapped in Coke Apartments. Real rap.
You want to name?
I'm talking about like when I was a youngin', with Bird, when Bird had the studio up there in Coke Apartments. And then you had some my boys. I'm talking about these boys out here running the numbers up. I'm talking about this when I was a youngin', I stayed right here by the basketball court, stayed upstairs because I was a youngin'. And I'm watching my big homeboy be on some rap fame, like everybody coming to see these boys when they step out. They whole movement was on something else. So
would you like to care to tell the people which crew I was affiliated with?
Oh yeah, that's your crew. Samad. For real. But that was just like one crew. Yeah. And then you got Baby J and them over here doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Sleep Dog and them over here. Sleep Dog originally from Coke Apartments, but we ain't gonna speak on that.
Right.
But yeah, but you got these other little, you know what I'm saying, little entities that's going on in the, man, we ain't have to listen to nobody else, man. For real. We had everything right there while I was growing up here.
So outside of them, who were some of your influences?
Outside of rappers, outside of Houston, and with them I was at. To be real, Master P and them. Master P and No Limit. Cause that was, you know what I'm saying, I was born in 87. So my time on music was like the time frame when Master P and them taking off. You know what I'm saying? So if it wasn't no hot boy music, it wouldn't worth listening to.
Right.
For real, if it wasn't that hot boy type New Orleans, like, you know what I'm saying, whatever Master P was bringing to the table, if it wasn't that flavor right there, we weren't trying to hear it. Especially where I was at, like, if it wasn't where I'm from, or this Master P type flavor with all these different rappers in the group, man, we weren't trying to hear all that.
Wanna be a boss? You're watching Boss Up Houston Network. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and Boss Up.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here now. So I know you may understand or you may remember this one gentleman to my left, but there's also someone else here I would like for you all to meet. These are two individuals that are both on PUD Empire. I'd like to introduce you all to Fat Mac and welcome back, Big Fats. So how y'all doing, brothers?
Hey man, I'm good to be here. Pleasure to be here.
I'm here on behalf of Fat Man.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? I'm
my
sure
brother.
love about niggas.
My brother.
It's going down though, man. What's happening?
But see, I see that's how the Empire rolled. Cause last time when you was on, he was here,
I was
but
here.
he wasn't on camera.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I said I got to get him on camera,
Right.
and there's been some new developments since I had you on camera,
Right.
right? So, Fat Man,
Yes, sir.
where are you from originally?
I'm from Makers Home, Texas. North side to the core.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now,
You know what I'm talking about?
how did you link up with this illustrious group, PUD Empire?
Man, it's more of a family. Like it's more of a family environment. But like me and Fast was cool from way back. Like I actually knew Fast brother before I knew Fast.
Shout out to Pooh Youngster.
Yeah. So Fast brother put Fast on my music.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, it wasn't direct contact. So we just got together, kicking it, and he threw a show for the culture. And needless to say, I set that show out. And from then on, it was music relationship. Like, you know, like I say, we had friendship first, so music came second, everything else fell in line.
So, it's one thing that I've noticed from your music. You're very smooth and you have an affinity for the oldies.
Hey, it's the Mac, baby. I'm a smooth gentleman, you know? What can I
Okay.
say?
All right.
What can I say?
And Infinity.
That's
Like
right.
Ken, man. Smooth talking.
Smooth talking.
You know what I'm saying?
So the album Soul Food, if you guys have not heard it, S-O-L Food.
Yes, sir.
Not S-O-U-L, but S-O-L,
S-O-L.
but it will fill you up the same way if you ate some neck bones, oxtails, collard green, like my mama say, muscle green,
Yeah,
all that there.
yeah.
So one of the songs I really want to talk about, because I'm a fan of your music,
Right, appreciate it.
right? Now, one of the songs I want to talk about, that Rough Side.
The rough side of the mountain.
Yes, sir. So
Man, yeah, that video right now, y'all go stream that. Fat Mac 2 C's, rough side of the mountain on YouTube.
now tell me about what was the inspiration behind that song?
I mean, starting off with the beat, the sample, like the hook speaks for itself. Like whenever an artist is writing a song, like the creative process in general, like the beat gotta talk to you. So that rough side of the mountain sample just brought back all the pain, and I mean, you take all that and you build with it. Like that makes you who you are, in a sense. So
Because what I was getting from that, and don't find it no disrespect, but what I was getting from it, because see, one of my favorite artists is Big Crit. So when Big Crit did Crit Was Here,
yeah,
his
Classic.
first album, 2010, it was along the lines of that 2000 and beyond. Like it was that same type of feel, and I felt that same type of emotion.
right.
So
That's a big compliment.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I
no, but
appreciate
that's the
that.
truth. And you know, as I'm an artist as well, it's kind of hard to put a comparison on somebody, but if it's a valid one, I will say it.
Right.
So by listening to that, I'm like, how did he choose this song to be his first single and video?
It was the masses chose that for me. In actuality, it was I like I said, I worked on this album, I put it together, and got my, like I say, I appreciate all the praises for the album, but the masses chose what they like, and Rough Side on the Mountain was it. And I had to give them what they need.
Now, if I could offer my one little tidbit,
Uh-oh.
while we have this gentleman here as well. Nightmare.
Nightmare. Yeah, featuring my boy Big Fats.
Nightmare need to be
Food.
number 2.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we got visuals coming for that.
Oh man. Y'all done already did them?
Nah, they scheduled though.
Well, nah, he got another one he want to shoot a video for.
Yeah, I got a video I'm shooting in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
But it's not Nightmare.
It's not Nightmare though.
So you got to put Nightmare on the list.
Yeah.
Now, whenever Nightmare come up, I need to be there.
Okay.
I don't want to be on camera. I just want to be there.
Right.
Now we got to get you. You got to get on the camera, kid. You
can't.
Come on now. Come on now. You too playing for that, baby. We can't have all that, baby.
Look,
come on now.
Now I bring some liquor. I might bring some champagne.
Right. Do that too.
And I'm gonna bring some jokes, but I'd like to be on the back. We'll be on the back. Yeah. But if you allow, that's cool too.
What if we can get you to tell jokes in the video?
That's cool. Because Nightmare, it makes sense.
There it is.
So one thing that I will call out about Nightmare that I really love was the duality of the song, because you came on very ferocious, and Mac being himself in his own persona, he came very smooth. And the sample itself was Intimate Friends, Eddie Kendricks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah,
it's been sampled like Sweet Sable, Old Time's Sake, Alicia Keys, Unbreakable.
Yeah.
But y'all did it a different
Not like
way.
that though.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy George Young. That was all George Young.
Oh, really?
That's my engineer, man. Yeah, that's
George Young put that together, man.
He produced most of the album.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
That's why I like it.
Yes, sir.
So, George Young, I want to salute you, because you got a song where you took It's Your Attitude by Barcades on your own thing, Black Ice. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, man, George is a talent. You know what I'm saying?
And that's an understatement.
Yeah, facts. That boy's the truth.
So, okay, so also one last one where you took Tweet Beautiful, I think it was Dream Team.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of give the people a little bit about Dream Team. What was that leaning toward?
Dream Team was really when I got into my situation with PUD.
Okay.
Like that was one of the last songs I put together before I wrapped up the album. And it was a homage to what you work toward. Like we all got a goal, and we all got dreams, and we chase them and we live them, and you gotta appreciate and relish in the moments. And Dream Team was one of the moments, man. Yeah, I'm part of the Dream Team, baby.
Okay. Now, Fats also got a song too. Y'all like Kindred Spirits, Build from Table Mountain. I won't talk to you about that.
Got a bill.
Now,
dollar bills.
Now tell me, I know last time you said you don't never run into obstacles, but now let's just say the resistance. As you build, and what resistance do you run into?
Well, like I say, it's not an obstacle though. You know what I'm saying? It's a resistance. It's a great word. But what you run into is people or situations that are counterproductive to the dream. This is with life, though. You know what I mean? It's just a microcosm in the music industry, but this is with life. Whenever you're trying to build or trying to achieve something, it's gonna be a resistance or things that are not conducive to your dream. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you to stay focused, to determine what is conducive to the dream and what's not, and go forward. You know what I'm saying? So with the Build record, it was more so, I've been building what I have now, for a while. You know what I'm saying? We talking, 8-9 years or so. So when people see you, it's like they see you coming out now, and it's like you're getting a little fame. So it's like, hey, the Fast dude came out of nowhere. I'm like, nah.
Nah.
No.
What I recall, so Fast, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been following for a very long time. I remember it was a gentleman named Minnesota Fats, I think.
Right.
That was you.
Yeah.
I remember Warehouse Live.
Yeah.
I remember where everybody used to be. People used to be all on the north, everywhere. Anytime that there was some type of show, showcase, you was on it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, even before that though, that was just like a persona that I created. But even before that, it was open mics, it was showcases. I was on at one point in my life, I was on stage a good 4 to 5 times a week, every week. It was Zanzibar on Monday, it was Sugar Hill on Wednesday. We would do Carols on Thursdays. I think they had what was it, Mr. A's on Tuesdays. You know, back in those days, you had a lot of events in the city that you could do. You build, you know, if you were smart back then, you build up your career at that point where you're hitting stages. And I like to say, whenever you hit a stage, if you can get one fan to come home with you, you know, one fan to say, you know what, I'm gonna follow him, or I'm a, you know, look after him. Then that's what you're doing it for. So if you do 1,000 shows, you got 1,000 fans. You see what I'm saying? So it's a you know, it's the old way of building yourself. But you know, you drop your CDs, you do all that, you build yourself to the point to where I am now, to where I don't have to beg people to listen to my music, or I don't have to go out of my way to do stuff. I just drop and people flock to it. You know what I'm saying? But I built myself to that. It's nothing that came overnight. I didn't just wake up and say I'm a rap and then everybody was rocking with me. That's not how it goes for people my age. You know what I'm saying? So
I got
you know, it is what it is. But like I say, the building was, you know, from the ground up, man.
So I'm gonna ask this because I mean the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna pose this to the Fat Man. Would you be receptive of doing like either a mixtape or an album with this gentleman here?
Of course. We might have ran across that conversation before.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what I see, it could be the next top duo, in my opinion. I know you all are individual artists, but I think the duality that y'all have, the differences that y'all have, and the kindred spirit that y'all have could bring something very special to the table.
Yeah, no, we definitely gonna get one in when the time is right. It's already, you know, been talked about. It's just with us, of course, things have to make sense on the business side as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't just cut records to cut records, and that's the difference between us and a lot of other people. You know what I'm saying? So we'll definitely get that in. I got a couple of obligations that I got to finish first, and then he got to get a solo one out just for himself. You know what I'm saying? That's the you know what I'm setting for him, but. After that, yeah, most definitely. You know, it's gotta happen. So it's gonna happen.
Right. Because I mean, all of the collaborations I heard, banging.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, look, man. See, that's why I'm upset. I'm old now. I'm bald. I can't jump in there with y'all, man.
You
Come
still
on,
young,
now.
I can't
baby.
jump in there and
Come
freestyle
on,
no
now.
more with
You
y'all.
can.
I can't come down no more.
You can always
Coming
come
down
down.
now.
Yeah,
You got the roller drip on. What you
I
talking
can't
Heads
come
up.
through. I
Heads
can't come
up.
through. I can't get crunk.
Yeah, in your
you
own
can.
way.
You
In your
just
own
got to
way,
do it on
man.
your
That's
turn.
it.
That's all it is.
Yeah, my wife will kill me.
Yeah, no, I already know. I'm just trying to encourage them.
No,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? No, I already know.
Need that no.
Yeah.
Look, baby, I'm sorry. You told me don't be
Wouldn't-
that no more. Cause see, I mess around out here all time about them gold and diamond like I did in 2000.
Hey man, yeah, I seen what she told you not to do that no more. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, nah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that one.
But yeah, man, I'm just elated here to have y'all both here with us in World Views with Ken Mills for the simple fact, okay, also with our previous guests, y'all bringing something different to the city. Like I say, back in the days that I was coming up, we was coming down and coming through.
Right.
But when I hear y'all really hitting something to where y'all evoke emotions, real feelings, and you also have a message and a knowledge to inspire.
Yeah.
Of course.
So continue on that. And then also what we do here at World Views with Ken Mills, anybody that comes sit on this couch and be with us, y'all family. So we support y'all. So like I say, support these two gentlemen, Fat Mac,
Yes, sir.
Big Fats. Also, Brother D-Boy Dan over there in the lobby.
Shout out to D-Boy.
Hey.
93
boy.
Wellness. He was the sponsor of the last event, sponsor and vendor. Y'all give it up for him as well.
Big business, man.
Yes.
And it's all going to be like this here.
Yes.
Bill.
You got
Hey,
a
man,
bill.
got
Dollar
a
bill.
You know what I'm saying?
Simple.
If they the dream team, guess who I am? I'm Charles Buckle.
There it is.
But
Simple.
what we'll do now, we'll go to a next break, and when we return, we'll have our final illustrious guest. You're now here with World Views with Ken Mills on Boss Up Houston Network.
Tori on the beat.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, like I said, we have our final illustrious guest. Now, this gentleman to my left, gentleman is a marketing extraordinaire. He's the CEO of Strictly for the Streets website, strictlyforthestreets.com. Welcoming him now, Corey Porter. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, my brother?
All right.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, man.
I appreciate you bringing me on, man.
We appreciate you being here.
Mm-hmm.
So, Corey, main thing that I want to ask you, we've had these artists. We had 3 artists that came through here today. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do for artists from a hip hop perspective?
Right. So basically what we do, we start out with a consultation, basically figuring out how we're going to disperse it in that area. That's why I like with Instagram, YouTube, all these things, you set up a business page and they have analytics. The analytics are for a reason. You go look at that, see what city, what state, how many people. Is it men? Is it women? Is it between 13 and 24? Is it between 24 and 35? Because we're going to take that, we're going to jumble it up in a spreadsheet, and we're going to attack those people to make it efficient for your money so you can get the most bang for your buck. Because we're not just here money grabbing, we're really trying to progress your career. So for starters, that's where we really start with a conversation, identify your audience, and then we figure out how we're going to disperse it to that said audience.
Okay. So how long has your company been active?
We've been Strictly for the Streets have been active for 3 years now.
Okay.
In the beginning, it's just like anything, it's a grind. You got to basically establish yourself, trying to do brand awareness to get the word out. The first 2 years, that was mainly what it was. And this last year, now it's starting to actually grab traction, and we're getting artists to come through and use our packages, and it's actually progressing along a couple of guys. Like currently, we're working right close with a guy named TG Commerce out of Baton Rouge. He's going up, he's really going up. He has some real major things on the horizon, and that was a good look to be able to work with a guy like that. And we have a couple other artists in the pipeline.
Okay. So what are some of the major pitfalls that you see artists go through when they're not reaching out to a group or a team like yours?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's not all about reaching out to like a company like mine or other marketing advertising companies. The biggest problem I see though are people want to do what's popular, and really what's popular isn't getting people on. So they're mismanaging their money. They're going out and spending $2,000-$3,000 to get on this platform, but actually that platform isn't getting exposure. It's getting views because people can play with the views. but it's not getting you the exposure you need to gain real fans. So people are actually mismanaging their money. And it's discouraging because, you know, you go out here and you spend a couple of hundred or a couple of bands and you don't get any type of return off it. It makes you be like, you know what, I ain't gonna mess with that. When really you just have the wrong formula. So it's just really about mismanaging the money.
Okay, so what would be the proper budget if a person, let's just say, if I'm a burgeoning artist, I'm a starting artist, and I may have 1,000 Instagram followers, and I want to raise that up or cascade that to 10,000 followers. What would be the proper budget or the proper plan to get me to that point?
To take you from 1,000 to 10,000, being that you're starting out, that's a hard thing because that's going to be a slow process. It may take you 6-7 months to get from 1,000 to 10,000, unless you're one of these wild guys who will do anything for attention. Then that could probably grab you some followers. But for an artist who's sticking to the art, I would say start with sponsored posts on Instagram. Put maybe $20, whatever you can afford. Use the sponsored posts. Make sure you're posting on your Instagram at least 2 to 3 times a day of good content. Going live every day for about 15 to 30 minutes. And actually just every person you come across, inform them what you're doing. I don't care how old they are. They could be 12. Tell them, hey, your mom listen to music? Talk to everybody from 12 to 70. Because the more people know, it just opens you up for your name to be heard. So, I mean, it's all about communication, networking, and you're going to have to spend some money. Like a lot of artists want to do this without spending money. That's impossible. Impossible.
Right. So do you feel that may be more trepidation due to them being afraid to mismanage money, or do you just feel as though that they may feel that they already have arrived or they may already have the talent?
A lot of people think they already arrived. But when you look at the numbers and what's going on, I mean, it's kind of like, how do you feel that way? But I mean, it's confidence. So my thing is, I never like to knock confidence. You got to be confident. But a lot of it is because people think they're at a stage higher than what they are. So they feel some things are beneath them, but they actually just skip the whole stage itself. So like Fats, I think, was saying earlier, it's a process. It's building blocks. You can't really skip steps and expect to get the ultimate goal, the ultimate reward. And a lot of people, especially today, a lot of artists, they skipping steps. And so when they see, you hear these people going broke or they're not really making the money, it's because you didn't understand the business. You skipped that step. You know what I'm saying? You went viral. You didn't really understand how the business worked, how the music industry flow, how promoting a record goes, how rolling out a single goes. So it's like a lot of it is lack of education and mismanagement of money at the same time.
Right. So along with marketing, do you offer any advice to your clients as they move along in their plans?
Right. Yeah. We do consultation all the way through. It's best to deal with an artist from the ground level because you can kind of implement different strategies and then they can add their own creativity to it also to enhance it. Because another situation that you run into with artists are they expect you to do everything. And that's my job, but it's still a team effort. I need you to produce on your end too to make sure that everything comes together. It's just almost like promoting. I used to promote. You'll pay an artist to come to your show and he won't even promote it. He'll show him show. He'll say, oh, you got to do it all, which is true. But if you want a successful show, we got to be a team with this.
Right. And I think what you're touching on is not necessarily all about the music realm. It's entertainment in general.
In general.
Because I see a lot of that in the comedy sector as well.
Mm-hmm. I tell a lot of artists today, if you really want to make it in the music industry, sell yourself. It's not even about the music anymore. It's about you. Do people buy into you? Do people believe you? Whatever you talking about on these records or on these interviews, you got to stand on that because people want to know, is that really you? And if you check out, you won't have no problem.
So what you're meaning is the credibility factor, right?
Right.
What people would say, they'll profess that they're this major trafficker or major killer or pimp or whatever they are, that they say that they are.
Right.
But once the research or the Carfax come back, it better.
You better check out.
They better not roll the odometer back.
Right, what you know about it, roll out a odometer back. But yeah, it has to add up. You know what I'm saying? Or otherwise, you're a phony. It's hard to sell fake stuff.
Right. So I'm glad you touched on that because I know that there's a big movement right now against snitching or calling people snitches or bringing snitching out. So with that being said, do you see that some of those artists who may have those unsavory backgrounds of snitching, do you see them escalate as well? Do you see them gain traction as well?
The thing is, a lot of people don't really know these artists' history, and they really don't check into it until you hit a bigger level. So the thing is, a lot of these guys, I don't know why they stress that street mentality or that street life, and they know they have these type of things in their closet. So I mean, if you know that you've told on somebody, don't get out here and portray to be some super gangster. That's not your realm, because it's just not gonna work out. We seen that with the young kid who just came home. I don't even like to say people's name, but you know the funny boy.
Yeah, Rainbow.
Yeah,
Rainbow Bright.
You know, and it's like honestly, I mean, I just feel like if you are living that life, you got to live by those rules. If you don't live that life, those rules do not apply to you. Plain and simple.
Exactly. So me as a upstanding citizen, a civilian, sometimes I don't agree with what the rap culture would say is snitching, because the police are there for a reason, right? So if I'm not doing anything wrong or I have property or this, that, and the other, and somebody break in, I'm supposed to call the police.
Right.
What I feel sometimes that it may get misconstrued is because they just think the simple act of dealing with a law enforcement officer is snitching.
Right.
But what they have to understand is that they're in the commission of a crime, consorting with another individual on crime, and they agreed to it, and you tell on that other individual, that is what equates to snitching.
Right. I totally agree.
Unfortunately, some people don't have the testicular fortitude to handle their weight or handle the accountability for when something goes wrong. But I see that what you do with your company, you make sure that you have solid individuals that you market and that you post, right?
Right. I try to check into it, especially like when we're going to get into it and we're going to really like do some extensive marketing. Like, you know, we're going to work for this record for a couple of months. I'm going to actually listen to the record. And then I want to come hang out with you. Then, you know, I'm going to Google you. I'm going to look you up. I'm going to do all that because I really want to know who I'm dealing with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know real from fake.
Right.
So, I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to be the shoot 'em up gangster bang bang. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to, it got to be truth in what you talk about. Honestly, to really deal with me. Okay. All right. So you doing background checks too? Nah, man, we ain't doing all that, because that's police work. Yeah, I don't do police work. I don't do no police work.
So what's next on the horizon for Strictly for the Streets?
Okay, well, what we have on the horizon now, currently we're focused on the music because we're trying to build a foundation. And you know, house ain't nothing if you don't have a strong foundation. Right. But we're going to branch it out to comedy and also independent films. So we're going to take the website and basically turn it into a arts channel. Anybody dealing with the arts, from rapping, poetry, singing, comedy, independent filmmaker, come holler at us over at Strictly for the Streets, man. We're trying to promote you and give you a platform so you can throw it out there and really get a look, get noticed. So how can they get in contact with you, Corey? You can get in contact with me on Instagram. My personal page is CP_from the port. That's CP_FROMDAPORT. And then we have my business page, which is Strictly for the Streets. It's STRICTLY, the number 4, DASTREETS, Strictly for the Streets. Or you can email me at info strictlyforthestreet@gmail.com. All right. Well, we want to thank you once again for coming here. You're a great friend to us. I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. And whatever you need on any avenue that you're working on, Yes, sir.
We here to support you.
Same here too. You got our backing for sure.
All right.
Already.
All right. Now, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to go to our last commercial break, but when we return, we'll have our parting shots. You're now here with Ken Mills on Boss Up Houston Network.
Wanna be a boss? You're watching Boss Up Houston Network. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
All right, good evening now. So, everyone, we've had some illustrious and special guests here on the show tonight. The reason why we have on this Heritage Houston Oil is because this was a time where I first loved hip hop, right? And the time that was the most memorable in my life. So the main thing that I wanted to drive home here is number one. Sometimes rap may get a bad rap. Like everybody thinks that everybody want to shoot, everybody want to do this or that. But behind the camera, behind the music, these people are totally different. These people are strong black young men that are trying to get their message out to the masses. You had Rap Sci who was on. He told you about the way of his upbringing, what he was working to do as far as becoming a musical prodigy, and also how he's working to get his message out. And we salute that. Secondly, we had Fat Mac and we also had Big Fats. Both of them on PUD Empire. But something very special about them. All of their music that they do either inspires or evokes some type of emotion. And I mean, they're highly talented. So we salute them as well. And lastly, we had Corey Porter, who came in to give us the business and the science behind marketing this type of art that should be out there in the marketplace. So I tell you all these things today, and I'll loop it back up into one. So this show we coined Front Row. My dad would tell me this phrase every time he would take me to school. Every time he'll engage with one of his friends. My dad from Fifth Ward, Liberty Road, and my daddy would be all throughout the city. And it would be older gentlemen that he'll walk up to. He'll give them dap. He'll give them a handshake, and he'll say front row. My daddy would put me in the car every day after he done cooked me breakfast, iron my clothes. That's who talking about to be fresh too, him and my Aunt Sheila. And he'd put me in the car, and he'd say front row. So I used to hate that. And I asked him before he passed, I said, what did that mean? He said front row means you have the highest esteem and respect from me. That's why I call you front row. So all these individuals that were on this show here, they're great friends of the show and great friends of me personally. And I find them to be front row. So when I call someone illustrious, that's what I mean. To the highest esteem and the highest of respect. So going forward, when you hear this word, illustrious is going to be intertwined with front row. So this is the end of our show. We'd like to thank you for hanging in with us this week. Next week, we have a special show coming up. It'll be the empowerment episode where we'll have a group of illustrious guests. Once again, they'll be very special. Tune into that. You'll also see promotion coming up shortly. So that's it. We'll see you again next week. Thank you. Worldviews here with Ken Mills on Boss Up Houston Network.